It's gonna be kind of a different video. I don't normally put like computer stuff out there, but I'm gonna put this old system back into service. So the CPU in here is a Core 2 Duo. Let's see what the number is. I can't really read it. 6300. So I don't know, probably old. Right now it's got 500 gigabyte or 500 megabytes, sorry, of RAM. I just bought 8 gigabytes of DDR2 to replace these. These are DDR2. I have all like the component stuff out, like the not like the cooler and like the fans and all that. So I don't have the fans in there yet because they're really gross and disgusting, and this is what they look like. So absolutely filthy. And then in question is this power supply, which I tried to test it and it seemed to not work properly. And then this screws off anyway. So I bought a new 600 watt EVGA power supply, and that's gonna be arriving probably in a day or two. A new BIOS flash ready for when I get everything set up, because I was having crashing issues because of this power supply. I believe it wouldn't even load. It would load into BIOS, but not, it wouldn't let me do anything past that. I'm just gonna do a little bit of progress here and there. I'm gonna clean these out, and then I'm gonna come back and probably toss all of that stuff back in here. Shit, I don't even know if this computer's gonna work. I've dropped shit on this motherboard so many fucking times. It was hard to do that shit with one hand, so I'm gonna do it with two. Next thing's thermal paste, and I got some Corsair TM30. I'm not gonna put the better stuff in this because it's just like an XP system or Windows Vista. I'm gonna set it up for Windows XP once I get it running. Once I get that power supply, I'll be able to tell for sure. I'll get it booted into the BIOS and everything. So, disclaimer, I'm the worst paster in history, and I'm also trying to do it with one hand, looking through a camera. Nice little Globia thermal paste. Got the cap back on that. So this little chassis thing goes onto this little rail down here, and then I'm gonna flip it up and screw it down. I'm just going to do it at a different angle with two hands, that way I can put pressure on it and screw it down. So that's essentially what it does. It squishes down. Wouldn't go in the hole. Another thing that's in this PC is a Gigabyte GV N520D3-1GI. This is equivalent to I believe it's a GeForce GT 520. This is the equivalent to that. So I have the drivers for this specific card. I just actually ordered a GTX 730. I'm not sure if the HDMI or the DVI port works because I haven't been able to test it. Also, another quirk that I had when I tried to start the system with the power supply that was in it, it wouldn't post at all with these in channels 1 and 3. And now when I swap these to 2 and 4, it posted. And now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to undo this cooler when I get the power supply, because unless I want the cables to just go everywhere in here, I guess. Normally they route underneath right here. My cable management's gonna be horrible, I already know that. So this is to the front buttons and IO. Right yonder. Stock for the most part. I don't know about this card. I would assume this is stock because the rear IO does not have a VGA, HDMI, DVI. It doesn't have any outputs on this, which I don't think I've ever seen that. And if there is an output, I don't know what it is. So I think this card in here was stock. I know this was used at one point because obviously it was used, but then it stopped working. I was told it didn't work. Hopefully it's just a power supply issue. We'll find out. All right, so in theory, after some finagling and bending these little things, I was able to get the power supply where it needs to go. Alright, RAM back in slot 1 and 3, like it should be. Power on. Okay, so now it's making sound again. Wasn't doing that previously with 2 sticks, in these slots at least. Graphics card fan spinning. No display. I'm try again. Slots 2 and 4. Back on. Okay, so So 1 gig of memory. I might have said it was something else earlier, but it's not. The thing about this BIOS is I don't know where I would need to go. So the CMOS battery failure, I just fixed that. That says 2007. That might have been just now. I don't know. But I did put a new battery in. what time it is. I had to see what time it was. So VGA reads it, multimedia, that's this card. And at the bottom it says communication device, which is like this modem, which is useless, but at least it reads it. So I know it worked if I was going to use it. It went too fast, sorry. I'll be back in a second. Let's see if my discs work in this. Let's see if it reads. Wait. Wait, what? Oh. Blue screen, huh? No, just restarted. So maybe it's not a power supply issue. I wanted to boot from CD. There we go. Let's see if this works. Obviously the disk drive works. I replaced the belt and it's a little bit slow, sluggish. The belt's a little bit too small, I believe. So I was gone for 1 second and blue screen says check for viruses. Remove any newly installed hard drives or controllers. The hard drive may not be configured with. Okay, so I pressed the power button. It turned it all the way off. Before, when I did that, it would just restart. It would never turn off with the old power supply. Let's go F12 for boot menu. So it says starting Windows. Let's see what happens. Blue screen. This might be more of a challenge than I first thought. So after clearing the CMOS, you know, there's a little jumpy right here. Clear CMOS. I don't know if you can see that. Clear CMOS, clear password. I already did the password because it actually had a password on the BIOS when I got it. So I did that, put a new battery in, and now we're looking at 8 gigabytes dual interleaved, and it's working. All 4 DIMMs are working, so that's a plus. Still haven't gotten into Windows yet. I think it's a hard drive thing because it has a BIOS from a different computer on it, and I'm trying to figure that out. heading into the BIOS to hopefully boot. System battery voltage is low. That's crazy because I just replaced that shit. I don't know how to update this BIOS because it's just not working. I just put that battery in. How's it low? Guess we'll try another battery. All right. So let's try this. Apparently, that was a setting that someone used and then it just worked all of a sudden. We'll see if this actually works. It always gets to where it says, I believe it says Windows is loading setup. And then it blue screens and it gives me the error that it's like a hard drive issue. Setup is starting Windows. This is what happens every time. Blue screens right here. Every time. Oh my God. Oh. Well, let's see if this works still, because every other time I've done this, it blue screen, but I never got to that screen before. So we'll just do the setup like normal. So the apparent thing for the hard drive is it didn't have like RAID drivers or something like that. But when I change that setting, it works, or sort of. We're gonna find out in a minute. F8, I agree. Well, my mouse wasn't working. I know this. I know this. And we're zooming. It's not installing network. There's probably not going to be no network, nothing on this. My mouse isn't working. Okay. I'm in Windows XP. My mouse works. but I had to find a rolly ball mouse. It only works in the front USB port for some reason. It doesn't work on any of the back ports. What? 16 by 12? What? Out of here. I think this monitor is only 1600 by, or I thought it was 1600 by 900, but whatever you say. It's rolly ball mouse, isn't it? Oh. Well, now my little laser mouse is working. The fuck? This works a lot better than the rolly mouse. It says 3 gigabytes of RAM. But there's 8 installed. I wonder what that's about. No audio device. Well, I knew that. Well, there we go. Okay, I can't do that because it says it's part of a file. But this will work. I know this works because I did it on a different computer. This is Realtek HD audio driver. No, I'll restart my computer later. So now when we go to well, it says audio device on high definition bus, but it's all there, it works. But right here, video controller EVGA compatible. I do have a card in there. I also have the drivers for them. Install failed. Don't know why. So I had trouble with this card already. The driver, it just wouldn't work. After scrounging the interwebs, what? Originally, when I was going to flash the BIOS because I couldn't get in, and then I changed the setting and then I magically could get in. I'm still gonna update the BIOS. Just to be sure. Update successful, it says. BIOS revision 2.5.1. So it did work, it did update. I couldn't seem to update it when I couldn't get into Windows from the BIOS. I couldn't do that, it wouldn't let me do it. Now it seems to work. Still says 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is unfortunate. Alright, so I did a little cable management while the CMOS battery's out because it kept saying that the battery is dead or kept resetting the settings. So yeah, got new batteries. I did a little cable management, so stuff is tucked away, and then this cable runs underneath. Now the cables aren't super wild. Cool. Got new batteries. So if these don't work, then there's probably some something wrong with that. Because with the other batteries, these two, these were each brand new out of a different pack. So if these don't work, then there's something wrong. Brand new battery. And it goes. All right, so I'm gonna have to reinstall Windows. All right, so back in Windows. So yesterday when I did it, it gave me the option for 1600 by like 10 something, and that's weird because this monitor only goes to 1600 by 900. So that confused me, but today it's like corrected, so I don't know. Let's try and install this display driver again for the GeForce GT 520. Let's see if that works. Nope. Let's try this one. Nope. All right. Scrounge the interwebs for some more drivers. I'm gonna try this first. I redid the Realtek HD. So it wasn't working. Hopefully it will now. Let's get that working. If that doesn't work, then I have okay, so that didn't work again. And I know that because when I restarted it on the computer it worked on, the sound was on before it turned off. So for now, I got it working to an extent to work, I guess. I'm gonna try this driver. I don't think the other one did this. I think this one here just gave me like a 7-zip error. This one's like loading stuff. Hopefully that means that I can get a driver for this guy, and hopefully it works how it's supposed to. Yeah, it didn't do this on any of the other ones. So it says I need Net Framework 4, says continue. I read that, I accept it. Now I'm curious about this. If it installs, there's continue anyway. So obviously it did read my graphics card as a GT 510 or 520 because it popped that up. Because this driver's for like a bunch of different ones. So as I was saying is, I think with this driver, or if I can get this working, the actual graphics driver, there's one game I can install it, but I can't play it because it still says like my 3D hardware is not configured or whatever, even though all the computers I've used it on had onboard graphics, but this is an external graphics card. HD audio driver. Maybe that'll work for my computer. Okay, so it didn't install Net Framework, but it installed everything else. Let's restart. Welcome. Still hear no sound. Nvidia GeForce GT 510 display adapter. Okay, so it's not missing right here anymore. So this also is still missing the high definition on audio bus, or high definition audio bus. I'll figure out the audio after. Now let's try what I was gonna do. So the game I can't get to run because of graphics issues. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. There's a little stack of games that I plan on playing. I really want to beat this one for my YouTube channel. I'll probably be posting that once I get this computer all set and ready. Alright, install Episode 1 Racer. And we're going to do that. Normally if there's graphical errors, there's like this picture doesn't show up properly. The only bad thing is it's not going to have any sound, of course. Alright, so we made a little icon on the desktop. Okay, so couldn't analyze my hardware. Okay, so right after I clicked OK, this popped up. I guess that means I configured it. Oh shit, it's popped up. Oh shit. If the game is gonna play like this menu shit, then this might actually be fun to play. I have to unlock the characters, but my favorite used to be Mars Gulo. I don't know how to say it. It was Mars something or other. Mars G. We'll pick Anakin. Pick Tatooine. Okay, Star Race. Let's just see how this plays. Oh my god. This plays better than when I played it as a kid. Well, now, no, this doesn't. Got some graphical errors here. The game froze. Let's get back into it. Let's try it again. Pass the Bulba, get rid of that. Okay. Oh, I did this again. This time it didn't even like pull it. Oh, it did pull it up. We'll go with the game that I've played before. It works on Windows 10, no problem. But all these other games just won't install on Windows 10. Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling. One of my favorite games. I used to play this game with my dad when I was little. Love it. Welcome. Still no sound. Now we'll try Brunswick Bowling. Couldn't create direct sound object. No shit. Now when I tried this on another computer, a Windows XP computer, I got to this screen and it wouldn't go past it. Windows 10 goes to the menu, no problem, play the game. I've never loaded this up, so hopefully it's just going slow. Alright, so an update. Couldn't get the bowling game work, just stayed on the menu. I went and tried it again, changed settings, nothing worked. Here I am with Harry Potter, and this is like max settings in game. And it runs so much better. I had a little HP, the APU system I was telling you about, onboard graphics. Could barely run this game at 640p. And this is max settings, and it looks great. Seems to play great. Technically, if you don't have a mouse, you can play this game without using a mouse. I do want to make a point. You can play this game without the mouse until these parts. And I was doing that through the screen of my phone, so just ignore that. Here's another interesting thing. I haven't been able to load up this game on anything. Nothing works. This game will not work. It installs, nothing happens. So this happens. It goes down here. And this hasn't happened before. I haven't got to this part. So let's do options, video. Well, shit. I'm just a motherfucking magic man. I can skip cutscenes in this game. Damn. I wonder what this shit looks like if I play it through HDMI. We get smashed. Oh, I got smashed. Hey, so I finally got Chamber of Secrets working. On to the next game. It's not saving the BIOS settings. F1 didn't work, but F2 worked, but after a long time. Memory speed's at 0, so I don't know what that is. Oh man, this is frustrating. Well, I gotta figure out why that CMOS battery isn't holding. I mean, obviously there's some sort of issue, so. And this fucks me up and I have to reinstall it. Okay. So I probably put in a tiny clip of shit not booting again today. This is day 3 in a row. But okay. I'm trying to get Star Wars Episode 1 Racer to work, but it just keeps giving me this white screen. Maybe I do have to reinstall Windows again. So with the XP CD in there, it boots, but without it, it won't boot to Windows. All right. Supposedly this is a fix for this game. I found a fix for this game that fixes, I mean, so far all the graphical stuttering shit's not working, or it's working better than it was. So all of this is on high. Okay, everything's already set. Just go free play, okay. Skip that, go here, go here, go here, restart race. This is going faster than it was. The last time I was looking at it, it was like 1 frame per 10 seconds. Okay, this happened the very first time we loaded the game up, but then once it went to right here, it went white. I don't know how to go. Oh God. How do you turn? Oh. Hey, we got this fucking game working. This is the game, this is one of the games I couldn't get working whatsoever. Past the menu, of course. So we turn it on. We should see right here on startup, if it even starts up. Nope, time of day not set. That means if I hit F1, it's gonna say no boot drive, or it's gonna start Windows and then blue screen. So that's the issue I've been running in. CMOS battery is, it's not holding the settings. And what I looked up, it's either a motherboard issue or a motherboard issue, because it's not a battery issue. Battery is 3 volts. Checked it with the multimeter. Every battery I have, except for the battery that was originally in it, has 3 volts. Actually, over 3 volts. We'll over about 3.3 volts. Alright, so I got a little bit of an update. So I'm going to turn the computer on. Turn the power supply on right now. So before, every time I would turn the power supply on, the computer would start up. So I just assumed a short somewhere or something. I don't know why it was doing that, right? So last time we were here, every time we'd started up after losing power to the power supply, which I just turned it off and back on by the way. The only way I could get it to boot is I would change the settings, change the hard drive setting, and then boot it up with the boot disk. The boot disk is not in it. All the setup settings that I changed are there, and it loads into Windows now. I'm not getting a CMOS battery failure error. I'm not getting the time settings error. I'm not getting a no boot disk error. And did you hear that sweet startup sound? I found the correct fucking drivers. It just took me a long time, but I did it. Found the correct sound drivers, and I got the GT 730. It came with a low profile shield, so I took the shield off of this one and the shield off of the 520 and put it on this, using DVI of course, because the HDMI doesn't quite fit that I don't know if I could plug a DisplayPort cable in. I don't know if I'd have enough space for it or not.
Number 2 flathead, I think. Shabby build, this. Hey, look out behind. Nearly got me there. What caliber, Gromit? European or full Jamaican long shot? Look at that action, Gromit. May I present the telescopic banana gun?
We need to get to the port key, and quickly! Come on!
What are those things?
Jump on!
There's more of those things.
They're called Gunbox Club! Wow!
This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times.
Number 2 flathead, I think. Shabby build, this. Hey, look out behind. Nearly got me there. What caliber, Gromit? European or full Jamaican long shot? Look at that action, Gromit. May I present the telescopic banana gun?
Press attack to fire your weapon.
This way then, Gromit. Trade on that barrel. Cast off
the villagers of Little...
We need to get to the port key, and quickly!
Come on! What are those things?
Don't stop!
You could fly out of me!
We can't get bloody answer!
There's more of those things!
They're called sunspots, Rob!
Brilliant!
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities.
Today's the day. I took out the GT 520 and the 730, and today putting in this big chunky boy, the GTX 780. I had to bend this back a little bit and this. It still might not fit properly, but it's supposed to fit in 2 slots. Alright, this should be a beefy computer now. I mean, it pretty much could run anything before for this time. Joystick. Let's get DI back in here because I got. Alright. Nothing. I'll be right back. So I do want to point out, if I turn the power on, no cards in. It's all good. Okay, so I can boot this no problem. This is the 520. It's all the way in. No connectors. Then I get this blinking orange light, which means that there's a power issue, which doesn't make any sense if nothing's plugged in. So let's go ahead and just plug it in, just for the fuck of it, even though it's not going to do anything. Eight pin, 6 pin. Doesn't do anything. I'll turn it off and back on. Still nothing. So I think this GPU is fucked up. And then the second it removes, no blinking orange light, it's back to normal. Darn it. The other one didn't work. I sent it back. Then I got a refund and I bought this one. And this one fucking works.
To cast a spell, press
I want to note something. I don't know what it is about this game, but the audio doesn't work once you get past, or once you get onto the menu. The intro has audio, but nothing else. Also, this game runs a lot better on the GTX 780 than it did on the GT 730. That shit run like ass.
We need to get away from the campsite. Come on!
You're almost there.
System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high security beyond...
Alright, so I'm just finishing up this video. This is the final piece that I needed, a little bit of half-life. This is recorded straight from my capture card, so it's going to look a little better than all the screen recorded videos of just the monitor. So, yeah, this is the final part. Yeah, sorry if it was too long.
Into the high security branch of the the transit system.